Hey guys, welcome. This is Mark at Crypto Boy in Oz. It is Saturday, the 26th of June, and I just wanted to first off apologize for not keeping on top of content because for the last week I've been doing it every day because that's my goal. I want to produce something that you can watch and obviously get some key information to help you move forward in crypto or just keep you up to date with what's been going on. I want to do that every day, and for the last couple of days, I've not had a chance because Wednesday I also do a podcast on normally Mondays, but I did it on Wednesday this week because we had a guest that cancelled on us, and that's on expats moving to Australia from different countries, primarily like the UK, but we don't really care. We'll get anybody on from anywhere. And after I didn't get home till midnight, and I was wrecked. So Thursday, it was a late finish, and again, I just didn't have time. I could do with not working, and so I want to do a big shout out to a lot of my go to crypto gurus, as I like to call them. Big shout out to them. Like you've got Ran and Sheldon at Crypto Banter, George at Cryptos Are Us, Ben Bitboy Crypto, Aaron at Altcoin Daily, and his brother. I always forget. So the two brothers at Altcoin Daily, because to produce content every day, it is it's time consuming. What you see, trust me, there's a hell of a lot more that goes into that behind the scenes. And I mean, just the point of setting up your YouTube page and YouTube channel and using the software to put it all together and create the visual look that you're kind of going for and put all that together. It's a lot of work. I mean, I'm just a small fry. I've got 10,000. Well, I've probably invested about, I don't know, 12,000 US dollars into my personal portfolio and 25,000 into my pension portfolio. But I'm just a small fry. I mean, I've not even got a Bitcoin. So I work for a living, and I've got a. That's the thing. I mean, hats off to these guys because they're doing one show a day every day. Some of them do two shows a day every single day. Then you've got like Bitboy Crypto. I mean, they're doing two shows every day, but then they also do like sponsored like videos as well to fit in between. Then you've got the Hit Network, which is behind the scenes. I mean, obviously they've grown in stature, and they've got a lot of people working behind the scenes for them. But like myself, I'm on my own. I've got to work to pay the bills, and then also as well, the most stressful thing, which I could probably share, and you can probably empathy with, is buying the dip. It is so stressful because where'd you get your money from? Like, I mean, literally, where do you find money when you're limited and strapped for cash? I mean, it's really hard, and I'm doing my damnedest. I'm finding money from crazy places, let me tell you. And sometimes I've got money in my work account, which shouldn't really be for crypto, but I can't not buy the dip. So sometimes I'll just do a cheeky transfer, $1,000 here and there from my business account. Don't get me wrong, no, it's all above board. There's nothing wrong with that. Just another form of income that I've got to pay tax on. But do I really have it? Not really. It is for business use. It's not really for crypto. Like I do need a new van, and I need some new tools. But when I can buy half price crypto, it's such a tough decision because I'm thinking, well, if I buy some tools, they'll last me a couple of years to keep me going. Or buy a new van, that'll prolong my working. Well, it looks better for turning up in a new van for work because the one I'm getting is getting a bit done in now. So I really do need one. But I'm thinking, all that money on a van, I could just be spending that on crypto. And I think if I'm thinking long term, like 3 or 4 years down the line, surely to God, what I'm putting into crypto is going to be life changing enough where I don't need to work. That's my plan. That's where I'm going. That's my thought process. So when a lot of people stress about the price going down, I do have a little cry to myself inside, like a little crypto boy I am. But on the other hand, I have I have that little bit of excitement as well, because I'm thinking of, right, where can I find some extra money from? I've got this extra money. What can I buy it on? And I'm just buying the damn dips, which I kind of highly recommend you guys do as well. Because if you want life changing wealth, it isn't going to come in a day. It isn't going to come in a week. It isn't generally going to come in 6 months to a 12 months period. But I think long term, and long term to most people, like long term, if you're investing in the stock market, is retirement age. Long term in any other asset industry is like 10, 20 years. Long term in crypto, generally speaking, is 1 to 4 years. So when I say long term, it ain't that long. So that's my plan: 1 to 4 years investments, and then take out profits and find new projects to reinvest in and stake as much as I can. That's been my biggest change this last 3-4 weeks. My private super fund, sorry, my private fund. For me, I was always swapping, like selling and moving to something else. And okay, sometimes I might have been losing money, sometimes I might have been making money, but it's not a sustainable plan, because you kind of lose track where you are. Because the problem is, when the price is going up and down, and you're buying and selling, it's hard to kind of think, well, how, like, am I worse off? Am I better off? Because you can't necessarily look at fiat, because the price has dropped or the price has gone up. So it's not like a true reflection. So you can't think, oh, well, I sold at 19,000. I invested in this other crypto, and now it's worth 18,500. Now you think, oh, it's gone down, but you might have made money in that exchange by, obviously one might have dropped more than another, but when you're comparing it to fiat, it's gone down, and it's hard to gauge. So what I did is invested or staked everything that I can. So like I've got XRP staked with Celsius, XRP staked with Nexo. I've got Polkadot staked with Celsius. I've got Define and Matic staked on the Define network. I've got Define and Terra Luna staked on Define network. I've got Pancake Bunny staked on the Pancake Bunny website. So I'm trying to just stake as much as I can, so I don't touch it, because when it's staked, there's an extra process involved to remove it. You've just not got your hands on that cash. And if it's long-term thinking, like you're invested in, like I've invested in stuff that I believe long-term is going to do really well, I don't really want to touch it. All I want to do is, obviously, if there's any dips, buy more of it. The only thing I do want to do is buy more Luna, and then stake Luna to then get the possibility. Well, when you stake Luna, then you can get airdrops from coins that I think that are on their platform. So that's my intention with the next bit of cash that I come into. Well, I've actually got a little bit that I've got in USDC, because I sent in, I think I did $1,000, well, 1,000 Australian, so about $700, which I bought 1,000 paid tokens, which again is another platform where you can get whitelisted for IDOs. You need 1,000. I mean, in all honesty, I really want 75,000. If you have 75,000, that's guaranteed allocation. Problem being, 75,000 paid tokens is a lot of money, more than I've got. So I can't do that at the minute. I wish I could, but I can't. So I've just got to see if I can win the lottery by having just 1,000 tokens staked. I've got my fingers crossed for that, but I've got it with a few now. So I've got quite a few where I have a lot of these projects where they release IDOs on the platform. So hopefully I'm going to get somewhere with those. So let's have a look at BTC USD. And I drew a trend line earlier. This what time are we on now? I drew a trend line probably about 1 p.m. this afternoon, and it's broke it. Broke the trend line. It's actually brought 2 trend lines because this was a short-term trend from this little, which I thought maybe it was looking like it could have been a reversal candle, but it didn't turn into one. I thought it might have bounced off this trend line, but it didn't. It's gone through that, and it's also gone through the previous support line, which was like 31,000, just around that mark. It's now currently at $30,749. Just got to keep our eye on it, because I think if it gets below this wick of this candle, what we had last week, last week or beginning of the week, if we get below 28.6, I think that's where you've maybe got to panic a little bit. So we'll see where we are. This candle's just finished, and it's finished on the bottom. It's not really bounced back up at all off the 4-hour candle. So now it's a new candle, 37. Let's have a look at let's have a quick look at the 1-hour chart, see where we're at there. Yeah, so it's, I mean, if you look here, it formed a lower low here, and now it's formed a lower low here. Plus, it's brought that previous, obviously, the support line. So now we've only got this support here. So when it gets past 28.6, if it does, that's where really you want to be setting some stop losses around that kind of area. So maybe just under it, possibly 28.5, because I think if it goes below the 28.5, it's not going to stop, because there's no support under there, so there's nothing to stop it. And they're all the same. I mean, pretty much. Like if you look at Matic, this is where I drew the support line earlier on. It's brought the support, and I mean, it's not going to be anything new. That was Solana, sorry. And then so far, Matic is not really changed yet. On the 1 hour, it's still where I drew the line. But at the end of the day, whatever Bitcoin does, the altcoins are going to do as well. So don't be fooled by one coin that's kind of holding on by a thread that isn't started to move. As soon as Bitcoin starts moving, it isn't going to be long before all the others starts following suit, because it's just how it works when it's going in this kind of when it starts going downhill, Bitcoin starts going downhill, they all start going downhill. So again, this one is Polkadot. I mean, Polkadot, to be honest, has been pretty bad because it's not really had a recovery. Like it dropped to 14, just over $14, $14.25 earlier on in the week. Oh, sorry, where were we? On the so from when it dropped, last week to $13 thereabouts. I mean, it got up to, it had a wick on a candle up to like 1670, but for the most part of it, it's not really got over 1640. That's kind of been the barrier, and this has been dropping this has been dropping for like over 24 hours. So that's not looking good at all. Link's broke the support. Cake's still on its way down. That's broke. Luna. It's not broke its support because it had this extended wick about 16 hours ago. It did have a shoot down to 483. If it weren't for that, it would have broke its wick because that had been up here somewhere. But for now, again, that looks like it's going to come down. Thorchain, yeah, they're all coming down. They're all following Bitcoin. But the question is, how far is Bitcoin? How far is Bitcoin going to drop? Because we've not had, considering the futures have ended, which a lot of people thought the price had dropped, but I've been reading into it a little bit, and the past history, to be honest, it isn't really an indicator. When the futures expire, it's not really an indicator if it's gonna go up or down. I mean, I'll touch on the story that we were reading earlier, which I'll touch on later in the show, and that kind of goes into detail a little bit more about it. So let's have a look at the heat map. I love this heat map. And the problem is, I'm not getting any warmth from it. It's not warming me at all. Like I'm not really enjoying looking at it. I mean, I like them when they're all green, to be honest. People say if you're a trader, you can make money when it's going up or down, which you can, but most people don't trade. Most people that do trade can't trade. I'm probably one of them. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to understand trend lines, support, resistance, moving averages. It's hard. And emotions take over. And even when you say don't use your emotions, that's like saying don't drink the cream off the top of the milk. You know you're going to do it, so why bother saying it? So when you say don't let your emotions run away with you, even though you're telling yourself that, it don't work. When you're selling to fiat, you just want to jump back in because you think you're going to miss out. And when you're in crypto and the price drops and you've not got it into fiat, then you're thinking, why the hell didn't I get it into fiat? I could have been making all this extra coin, because that's what emotions do to you. You're not thinking rationally. Now I did earlier on this morning. Well, to be honest, when I went to bed last night, the prices were still pretty good. Nothing had started dropping. So I actually cashed out 50% of my holdings into stable coins before I went to sleep, because the prices were good. They'd not really started dropping at all. And then I woke up at 5 in the morning and I checked the prices and everything had dropped. But then they were at a support line. Everything was kind of hitting a support line, which I kind of thought maybe this was the support. Like if you're looking at Bitcoin, at this point here, it started going back up. And I'm not going to go into obviously all the coins I cashed out of, but pretty much they all did the same. So this support here went down to 31 and then it started going back up to 32. So it went up a little bit. And I thought maybe that was the changing point. So then I started buying back. And I made a bit, not a lot. I say I've only got a small amount of holdings, so I didn't make a lot. I made about 70 Solana, but 70 Cardano. I think I made 4 Polkadot, 4 Chainlink. So that, to be honest, that makes me happy. And I'm not begrudging myself that I bought back in, because at the end of the day, if I've sold and bought back in, and I'm buying back in for the same amount of money but with more coins than I actually sold, that's a result for me. And even though they're not big amounts, like I think I only got half a Kasama because I was stressing about that one, and it's actually gone down even more. And in all honesty, they all have gone down a little bit more, but not a lot. They've not changed all that much from like 12 hours ago. Everything's kind of within the same vicinity. You got small percentages here and there. I mean, I could have held on for a little bit longer, but just be happy with what I've got. And I've made some, and since I've bought back in, I've still got a little bit on the side. I kept about 10% cash. Maybe 20%. Sorry, I kept 20% cash on the side, just for if the price does dip further than it has done, and it has. But I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet to sell, because I think looking at Bitcoin, it's brought the support. Both supports really. It's brought the trend line, even though that was only really a temporary trend line, because it was only like going back 12 hours. But then it's broke the major support line at 31, and the next one is 28. So we're gonna see where it goes. I mean, I'm pretty eager to see if we do get like a over the next 2 4 hour candles. I'm keen to see where it takes us, because I've only got I've got about $2,000 in my pension portfolio to reinvest. I did take that out of Terra Luna, because I took it out of most of the tokens, the coins that I've got. But Terra Luna, when I looked this morning, it had actually gone up in price slightly, so I just left it on the sideline, and I'm glad I did now, because it gives me opportunity now to get 20% of my portfolio, of my cash, back in at higher gains. So I'm just getting used to doing it. I'm getting used to not being greedy, and when I'm happy with it, when I've made a bit of profit, don't stress too much if it goes down and I could have made more. Just be happy with what I made, because no one knows the bottom, no one knows the top. So when you've made money, just be happy with that and move forward. So, is it going to go lower? There's a good chance. I wouldn't bet too much money on it. Literally 20% what I've got. But I mean, if I jump back in now, I know for a fact I've made more coins, and that's a good thing. And the thing is, if I can do this, once or twice a week or more, and also as well, what I will mention, now I'm back into crypto for 80% of my pension portfolio. I've also set limit sells on everything that I've got. So I'll just, for instance, if I just go over to link, and not set well, let's try a different one. That's strange. All my trend lines have gone. Very odd. So anyway, I'll draw them back in. So from link, so look here. That all my trend lines have gone. They've not gone. I'm actually on ETH. I'm on dot to ETH or whatever. When I want to be on USD. So if I go over to dot, so I've got drawn the support lines and then your resistance. And if we look here, obviously it's dipped underneath there, and I've drew this line here, and then I've kind of thought, well, if it gets above $15, then maybe 15.50. Gets between 15 and 15.50. I'd got a sell order in, just to see what happens next. See if that actually bounces off that line. Not with all my portfolio, just a percentage of it. Because I feel it's been going down now for quite a while. So I'm expecting like a bit of a reversal and touch this trend line, and then perhaps sell part of my dot portfolio, and then buy it back as it gets a little bit lower. As you can see, I ain't a trader. I'm no expert, but like Matic, for instance, I've set a sell order for $1.15. So if it gets to $1.15, I'll sell it, go back into cash. This trend line, I expect it to bounce off, because it's like, obviously it's forming a resistance. So bounce off there, come down, and then on the retest, like if we come here and it does this, it comes off here and then it comes back down, then I'm selling it there anyhow, and then I'll buy it back as it comes lower. So I'm obviously making, like here, if it went here, then it went back up, and what have I made here? Like that is 8%. Not a lot, but 8% is 8%. And then if it doesn't do that, it could also go up and it could break. It could break go through the resistance and go up, but then it'll come back down and retest that as support, and then it might go up again. So again, if that happens and I sell out here and I've missed it, it'll go above it, but it'll retest around the same area, and then I'll buy it back in. And I'm not frightened of doing that on a few trades. Obviously, I don't want to do it on dozens and dozens of trades because I want to get lucky and make the extra on like the first trade. But if the first trade doesn't come in and it's a second trade which goes above, then retests, I might buy in at exactly the same price, or I might lose out 1% or 2. But I'm happy to do that because law of average will tell me that if I do that on 6 or 7 trades, then probably 3 or 4 of them I'll get right, and then the other 2 or 3 doesn't matter because it's only small percentages what I'll lose out on. So that's my plan. And that is only like one part of my portfolio. Like half of my self-managed super fund portfolio is my retirement. So half of it I don't actually touch. I'll trade half of it, leave half of it. And I separate it in that way. And then that way I'm never losing out on more than half. And then the half I'm playing with, I'm not risking. I'm setting stop losses. I'm setting limit orders. So if anything happened, it's small percentages what I'm losing. I'm not getting out of the market and then not getting back in. It's just I'm playing with it to increase my coins to, so it's like investing without actually putting any new money in. And that's what happened this morning. Like I said, I gained 60 Matic, 60 Cardano, 4 Polkadot, 4 Chainlink, half a Kusama, and that's good. Well, I also bought an extra 1,000 VeChain because that's really cheap at the minute. And then the money I've got left is what I took out of Terra Luna, and that I'm waiting for the price to come down to a point where I can buy back at least what I had, but hopefully to buy back more than I had, so I've increased my Terra Luna as well. And this is what I'm enjoying doing. It's scary and it makes you feel sick, but then it's like adrenaline as well, because you're thinking you've sold, you've read the charts, you've read the market, you've kind of predicted what you think the price is going to go, you've bought back, you've made coins without investing any new money. It's the old money that's made the new money, which I love. Do you know, I finished a coffee before I come in here, and I am spitting feathers. How's the lighting anyhow? I'd show you. In fact, I'm just going to show you my setup. I'll spin it round and get the wire. I don't know if you can see this, but so that's one light up there. This is my setup. And that's my other light. And then obviously that's my ring light. I just wanted to show you what behind the scenes look like. Obviously it's nothing amazing, but get that camera back right again. Can I get it right? That's better. And then I've got my lighting behind me as well. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the setup, and I hope you like the actual layout of like down here, this bar along the bottom, because I've changed it. I wanted to make it a bit more spacey because we all want to go to the moon, and that's where we're going. And trust me, that's where we're going. Like, you're following me. I'll just quickly reiterate. I'm a small investor. I'm just like you. The only difference is I'm recording the journey I'm doing, and hopefully you can associate and you can relate to my particular circumstances and put it probably like yours. Like you probably go to work for a living and you're coming home and then you're kind of doing what I'm doing, but you might just feel a bit comfortable and a bit at ease watching me, where I'm in the same boat as you, rather than watching. Which, don't get me wrong, I watch all the ones I previously mentioned, and I love watching them, and I like them all. Like even Crypto Jeb, I like him. But they've already made it. They've had life changing wealth, and they're really supporting their lifestyle through crypto. Whereas I'm not. You're not. You're investing in crypto now to give you life changing wealth. That eventually the crypto will support your lifestyle that you've got, and you can do what you want with the rest of your life. Whether that is creating content or just enjoying time with your family, going on holidays, doing whatever you want to do without worrying about going to work to earn a living, to pay the bills. Now you've had life-changing wealth. You just basically keep an eye on your portfolio. And the idea is, think about it. All the coins, I mean, I'll just show you my portfolio. This is my portfolio. I mean, I keep investing extra thousands of dollars and the price keeps going down and down and down, but I don't care because my holdings go up and up and up and up. And if they do go down in value, so be it. Look, Kasama, I'm down 45%. Am I gutted? Yeah, of course I am. But I bought at 309 thinking that were cheap. Or that's my average buy price, 309. I thought that were cheap. And it was. But now it's even cheaper. But do I get stressed about it? No, I don't. But what I was just going to show you quickly is stake it and forget it. When you stake it, you do forget it. Trust me, it does work. Before you stake it, before you stake your tokens, you just think of it as cash. And if you see something and you want to see a deal, and you think, oh, that looks better than what I've got, or I'm kind of sick of this token, I'll move into another one. If you fundamentally believe in what you've invested in, then you won't be sick of a token. You won't be sick of a project. You won't be sick of that particular project. You'll wanna stick with it. So unless you've invested in rubbish, then I quickly suggest that you get rid of the rubbish and you invest in coins with strong fundamentals. Look at what they do. Look at I keep saying it, but look at the founder. Look at the developers. Look at the project. Look at if it's got a unique use case. Look at its fundamentals. Invest in those projects. When you're in them, stay with them. You've invested in with them for a reason. So I'm in Polkadot because I completely believe in it. I mean, look, my average buy price $20. It's still cheap, but now it's 14. Giro wallet, 19 cents. I thought that was cheap. That's my average buy price. It was a lot higher than I bought it at 14 cents. But I strongly believe in Giro wallet. I believe in Oaken Finance. XRP just purely because the lawsuit, I'm thinking it's going to get thrown out soon. Don't think it's going to carry on much longer, and then the price is going to rocket, I believe. Kasama, Define, Paid, Polygon. I mean, some of them I'm not getting enough of. Kickpad, Polkastarter, Harmony, Binance, Terra, Refinable, Pancake. This was an idea that I got into. I don't know if it's going to be successful or not, but I can't swap it because the price has dropped so much. It's unbelievable. Like 81% down. But it weren't worth leaving. And that's what I say about these really low cap coins. They don't recover. There isn't enough money in the actual market. The market cap isn't big enough. Well, it's 1.2 trillion, 26 trillion. It's virtually half. Well, that is half. It was 2.4 trillion, I think it got up to. So all the low cap ones, the ones that get killed, they don't recover. And this here, Refinable, is, well, they say the proof is in the pudding. That's it. So let me give you an idea. Like, a lot of mine are Kickstarters. So Oaken Finance, it's a Kickstarter. Paid Network, Kickstarter, that's 2. Kickpad, Kickstarter, that's 3. Polkastarter, Kickstarter, that's 4. So I invest in 4 Kickstarter platforms. And this is only recent, and these give you the chance, they don't guarantee, they give you the chance of getting whitelisted for IDOs. And that's where a lot of the life-changing wealth can come in, because you can get tokens for next to nothing, and they can 100x. Some of them you're tied in, you can't sell them. Others you can sell them. Whichever way, it doesn't matter. You get in with IDOs, you get IDOs at like really low prices, then the game changes, because that can create huge returns where you can stick with them projects and watch them grow if you believe in them, or just get out of them and just buy something else. Invest in something you do believe in with strong fundamentals, as I mentioned previously. So that's that portfolio. I just wanted to share that with you. And then I've got my pension portfolio, which again is completely separate, but I invest in, similar, like Polkadot. Not many. So I have Polkadot, Chainlink, what else have I got? Cardano, Polygon, and Terra Luna, like Luna. I think that's it. 5. Maybe there's another one. Or Kusama. To be honest, I did have Ethereum. And I went to Kusama, and I had a big mistake. Not a mistake, I believe in Kusama, but Bitcoin and Ethereum retain the price more than the lower coins, and I did it before the price drop. I didn't anticipate it coming, which I kind of regret a little bit, because I know I've lost out a little bit there, because the Kusama's dropped way more than Ethereum has. So you learn by your mistakes, and as long as you learn by them, that's all that matters. You can't make mistakes you can't have success without mistakes. So if you F up, you need to, because you need to mess up to actually succeed. You've got to have failure to have success. The two work together. If you've had success, you've definitely had failure. If you've not had success, maybe you've just had failures, and you've not actually been lucky enough to just carry on, just keep stabbing away at it until you do get success. But if you've not had failure, you'll never have success, because you just need to try and try and try. And when you try, you might fail. But then you try that next one time, and you might not fail. And that's the difference. And you can put obviously the average is more in your favor by doing your research. And don't just watch YouTube videos and think, oh, that's good, this guy recommends this and this. That's not enough. You can't just go off what other people tell you. You've got to actually, okay, you might get an idea. Someone might tell you about a coin. I think it was Ran. I'm not sure if it was Ran off Crypto Banter or Ben off BitBoy. Well, BitBoy Ben, BitBoy. One of them told they had like a show on Giro Wallet. I thought that sounds interesting, but then they'll give you lists of all sorts of coins, and they all sound interesting, and chances are they all are. But then I started going down the rabbit hole of looking at projects that are going to be successful on the Cardano network, and Oaken Finance is a Kickstarter on the which is moving over to Cardano, and Giro Wallet again is moving over to Cardano. And the use case of Giro Wallet and what it does above all other DeFi exchanges just looked amazing to me, and I just wanted to really invest in it. And for a lot of people, this might not be a big investment. Like at the time, I paid on average 20 cents, so I was like $1,500 thereabouts. That might not be a lot of money for some people, but for me, when I don't want to have like 2 or 3 projects, I want to have a good list of projects, but I also want to have projects that give me chance of IDOs as well. So yeah, that's my portfolio. And some of them I will get rid of. Like, I'm not bothering. Pancake Bunny, when that goes back up in price, I am going to get rid of it. And then I've got Zilliqa again. I'm just gonna take these out and put them into other projects to grow the amount of coins I've got. There's no point spreading myself too thin and having 100 one chain, because what's that gonna what I believe more in the other. I believe in these, but I haven't got enough money to invest in them all, and I don't see the point in spreading yourself too thin. There's no point having 100 coins when you might have 10 of each. You may as well have 10 coins with 100 of each. That's my belief anyway. But again, it depends how much you can invest, I suppose. So anyway, that's that. And just wanted to touch on a couple of stories. What I think I might have previously mentioned. The first one is El Salvador. I mean, I love this guy. I mean, if there's a person on planet Earth that truly, truly, truly deserves laser eyes, it is the president of El Salvador. And don't he look good? He suits them down to a T. What are you gone with blue? I don't know. Bit of a contrast, isn't it, having the red eyes? So I'll just quickly read this anyway, because it's obviously we all know that El Salvador's made Bitcoin legal tender. But did you know this? He's giving $30 a Bitcoin to every citizen, which you might think at face value, it's not that much. But considering like the average wage in El Salvador is only $300 a month, he's giving them 10% of the monthly salary. So when you say it like that, it's still not life changing, but it's 10% of the monthly salary. And they do. I mean, before I go into it any further, what I will say about it, if you want your citizens to adopt Bitcoin as the new legal tender, what better way to do it than give every citizen $30? There's no better way of doing it. So everybody is going to get the app on the phone, where they can actually use Bitcoin to spend money. And if this isn't going to get the use case up, I don't know what is, because everybody's got $30 to spend on whatever they want. So it's an ingenious idea. And also as well, what I will point out is, if you live in like a Western country, like here in Australia, and America or UK, you've got all these support packs. So like during COVID, where times are tough and people can't go to work because they're not allowed to, and they can't pay the bills because they can't work, but they're not allowed to go to work. Not a problem. Because what happens? Presidents, prime ministers of countries speak to finance ministers within the countries, and what do? They print money. Doesn't exist. Quantitative easing. They just print money. So they need money, they print it. Difference being with what the president of El Salvador is doing is he isn't printing Bitcoin. Bitcoin isn't something you can just create out of thin air for nothing. You've got to actually either spend money on equipment and electricity and mine it, which takes time and money, or you've just got to buy it. So El Salvador have got, I think, 7 million inhabitants. They've got 7 million population. And I don't think they're giving children $30. I think it'll just be the adults. But like if you take that, I don't know how many adults there are. I mean, it's not said adults or children, but I can't imagine them giving like kids $30 a Bitcoin, because yeah, I just can't imagine that. I'm presuming it's adults. But say there's 5 million adults in El Salvador, and the times in that by $30. So that's $150 million. So if you divide that by the current price of Bitcoin, which is $31,000 thereabouts, that means El Salvador is going to be buying 4,840 Bitcoins. And by doing that, that's going to get every Salvadorian, El Salvadorian, if that's what you call them. By doing that, that's going to get everybody using Bitcoin. So adoption is just going to happen organically because they've been given Bitcoin to spend. And once they realise how simple it is, how straightforward it is to use, and they're getting paid in Bitcoin. Now, I know there's a lot of concern about volatility, where the price can go up as go down. But I think a good way of looking at it is, if you think about El Salvador uses the US dollar, and the US dollar is just printing money. So all that happens by holding US dollar is the currency is worth less and less and less, and your buying power gets less and less and less. So with Bitcoin, the price can go up and it can go down. But just by the virtue of the fact that it can go up and people can actually invest, they can save a bit of it, they don't need to spend it all. They can invest with the chance of it going up in value at record levels. That's not deflationary. It's not going to go down in price like standard US dollars. It's a game changer, and I think I'm not sure what the government's going to do. Like, are they going to have like some kind of floating price point of goods compared to Bitcoin? Probably not the best way of describing what I'm trying to articulate there, but like have certain goods and services that are obviously needed to be paid for on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis, like maybe like essential services, food, bills. Are they going to have some kind of floating metric that kind of mirrors the Bitcoin if it dips in price, just to kind of level out any discrepancies between the price going down? Obviously, if the price goes up, that's brilliant because they're making more money because it's the currency's going up, and they're going to be better off. But if you do get any downward spikes where you get ridiculous amounts, so it might drop 50%, I'm just thinking, are they going to have something in play which kind of protects them from these kind of price drops? Because there is like an argument where you could say, well, they're earning very little. They're earning $300 a month. So they're getting $300 equivalent in Bitcoin, which is fantastic if it stayed the same, which it's never going to do. It's always going to go up in price long term, which is brilliant because it's making the citizens of El Salvador more wealthy long term. But for spikes where the price drops, I was thinking, is there going to be some kind of balancing system in place which kind of reflects that with the ongoing bills that they've got to pay? Don't know. Maybe an argument for another time, something that's probably going to get discussed at a future time, because obviously it's being implemented. How quickly wages are going to be paid in Bitcoin, I'm not sure. I think it's going to be in the next couple of months. So I'll just read this anyway. So, ahead of September 7 Bitcoin law implementation date, El Salvador President Nayib Bukele has unveiled a new government crypto app. The government-issued app, which is known as Chivo, or Kivo, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, will be used to distribute the Bitcoins to citizens. So El Salvador became first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. We know that. So it's going to have a government-issued wallet. So a simple answer to the question is logistics. The anonymity of Bitcoin makes it so that people can create multiple wallets from other wallet providers. This would be a nightmare for the government to try to discern who was real or who was not, and who had already received their airdrops and was applying again. It's a good point actually, because obviously if they control the wallet, and that wallet has been verified for the users of the citizens of the country, then by doing it that way, they do know that obviously it's going to be one for one, and it's genuine. So the government issued wallet would ensure that the government can confirm that the users were actual citizens, and it will help to mitigate the likely issues of people trying to receive more than one airdrop. It would also mean that the adoption of a government crypto wallet. This could act as a central database for people using the coins. President Bukel took his time to explain why they were doing this. He brought up that they wanted to encourage the use of Bitcoin by citizens, and what better way to do it than to give people some free Bitcoin to spend. According to the president, what we are doing is encouraging the use of Bitcoin and encouraging the use of the system, which is going to generate the multiplication of money in the economy. So yeah, I think it's ingenious, really, when you think about what he's done there. I mean, how do you get people to adopt a new currency? Give them the currency. Give them the means to spend the currency. Fantastic. And last story that's wanted to talk about, just two today, and this is comparing past crypto cycles, suggests Bitcoin is nowhere near the top, which is what I kind of believe in, but I'm no crypto expert. And who is a crypto expert? Has anyone predicted any of it? Anyone? Like, really, truly? So comparing past crypto cycles, there is a clear pattern, and Bitcoin seems to be nowhere near the top right now. Bitcoin researcher Dorsha Hare has pointed out on Twitter that there's a consistency in the way corrections periods have played out in previous cycles. Bitcoin price growth since cycle low. So here blows a chart that makes it clear and easier to understand how the pattern in Bitcoin cycles appear. So upon closer inspection, it becomes clear that each cycle has a correction period around the middle. The first cycle is 2011. Here is how Bitcoin's price changed during it. So here's the zoom in there. So that's 2011. Then you've got 2011 to 2015. Then you've got the orange, which is 2015 to 2018. And then current one is 2018 to 2021. Sorry, I completely lost the screen there. So the market, so here we are in 2011, the market area in the chart is the corrected period where the price shows a clear downward trend. It lasted 51 days. The next correction occurred in 2013, as shown in the chart below. This lasted 88 days. 2017. This one isn't as smooth. It had many dips and rises. It disappeared after 88 days. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dips and rises. So it looks different than all the other ones, but as you can see in the chart, rather than a specific period of decline, Bitcoin had sporadic downs of around 30 to 40% in 2013. They lasted 90 days in total. Finally, there is a cycle we are in right now, and obviously, if you look at this, it looks nothing like top of the market. I mean, comparing this to previous years, it's possible that the recent crash in the mid-cycle correction so far, it has lasted 70 days. It's hard to say when Bitcoin price will start rising again, but guesses can be made if the mid-year cycle theory stands correct. The 2011 peaked at 325 days, while the 2011 to 2015 did in 747 days. 2015 to 2018 took further with 1,067 days. From this, it looks like each cycle is longer than the last. The reason behind that is probably Bitcoin maturing as an asset. And I'd argue as well, because especially this year, the adoption of all the different investors, like your hedge funds and your big corporations. So if the pattern follows, the current cycle should be no longer than 1,067 days. So at 921 days so far, it should go on for at least 148 days before peaking, which I don't quite agree with that. I mean, that's just going off the last one, but So also, each correction period has also been longer than the last. It's possible this one be at least 90 days long, which would mean a few more weeks of downwards trajectory. Right now, Bitcoin seems to be around 32k. While it's down 11% in the last 7 days, it seems some whales have started accumulating, which they have. People are buying. So, there we go. That is it for today. Hope I've not bored you. The heat chart is still red. Getting no heat from it though. It's not warming my heart, put it that way. Quickly jump back to the charts just to see what's happening with BTC, if anything's happened since the start of the show. It has. It's still going down. Yep, definitely, because this show's almost an hour long. This candle's almost finished. So it's gone from 30,890 to 30,318. Did actually dip down to $30,080. But it's come down, that's the point. So we've just got to keep our eye on that and see what happens. And don't stress. Like, I'll keep it under an hour because YouTube doesn't like any videos over an hour. But don't stress. If the price comes down, if you've got some cash, buy the dip. If you've no cash, just buy and hold. And if you can, stake. Because when you stake it, you stop thinking about it, you stop worrying about it. It's like having an ISA in the UK. It's like having fixed interest in a bank account where you've got to stake it. Same thing. You're getting rewarded by getting paid extra interest for keeping your coins locked up. And by doing that, trust me, like, it feels so good because you don't have that temptation. And long term, you're doing yourself good because by dollar cost averaging and buying and holding, long term, you're going to do good. And you could argue really, dollar cost averaging and staking kind of similar because you're staking your coins, and because you're staking your coins, you're getting rewarded with more coins. So your coins, the projects you believe in, you're getting more and more and more as time goes on. 10% might not seem a lot, but you think of a coin that's worth $1 and you've got 100 of them, so it's $100. In 12 months' time, that coin could be worth $10. So then you've got $1,000, and then you've got an extra 10 coins, which are $10 each, which are $100. And if you firmly believe in the project that you believe in, think what the price is going to be in 3 years, in 4 years, when the next cycle comes. And then you're getting 10% year on year. So it's not just like on $100 you get $10 like in 1 year, but then year two you've got 110 coins. So then you're getting 10% on that, and so on and so forth. So it makes a big difference, and it just takes the worry away. Believe me, because I've done it, and now I've locked them up. Even though I know the price is coming down, I don't care because I've staked them, and there's an extra process involved to getting them coins out of there and doing what you want to do with them. And it just by that extra step, just that little extra step, it kind of takes all that stress away, and you don't think about them. It's like you think of them as having long-term investments, but when they're staked, they feel like long-term investments. So that's my advice anyway. So I'll try and do another video tomorrow, see what happens with the price. I'll let you know how I'm going with my kind of investment. So I've got $2,000 on the side to buy back in as and when I feel like it's a good time to do so. But I'll keep you posted, and if anything happens overnight, just keep calm. And if you get too stressed, if you get worked up about it, just turn your PC off, turn your phone off, just stop looking at it. At the end of the day, when you're looking at it, it might go up, it might go down, but over like a 5-10 minute period when you're looking at it, you can't make decisions off that. You've just got to leave it, forget about it, and then look again in the morning and then reevaluate where you are. So for now, I'll catch you on the next video, and trade well. or don't trade well, invest well. No, I'm not trade well. That's someone else's. That's someone else's tagline. Invest well, my friends.